G'day fellas and welcome to game number 4 in this series between Marine Lord and Wham01. Spawning in the north, we've got Marine Lord playing his favourite civilization, the French, in the colour blue. His opponent who spawns on the opposite side of the map in the colour red. It is Wham playing the Delhi, and you can hear that very excited villager having just finished the mill. I don't know if you know that, Nilly. Have you seen this? When these Delhi villagers finish their buildings, they make these noises.
Okay, let me listen. House could finish pretty soon.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but yeah, let's listen. Did you hear that one? Oh, that was good.
What was that? Come on?
I had the lady and she just went, ah. But sometimes you really get like these really crazy ones. It's like, ah.
I think you might have a different tab open with other lazy noises. Stronger, please focus on the cast.
Okay. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about how this game is going so far. It looks like a single scout opening going to be coming in for Wham. And obviously going up against the French, it's going to make a lot of sense to do that. Doesn't need to go for the double scout because he's not really going to be contesting Gaia here because he's not playing against the Rus. He's playing against the French. And typically on this map, you do see the Rus come out. But I guess not today, Nilly. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I think maybe to keep it up. Do we have Boulder Bay in the pool? Let me take a look. We actually don't have Boulder Bay. So Rus could have been picked on another map. So yeah, I think Rus is typically a really strong choice here. With all the wolves around, with all the deer that can be contested. Lots of scouts often make lots of sense. I'm a bit surprised. What also surprises me is that Wham is actually going for sheep next to his mill.
Yeah,
Why?
This is something that we have seen quite a bit. And so the explanation, I've got a guy, he does all the math for me. And he actually told me, no, sheep next to the mill, it's still better than going berries next to the mill. It's better because of the walking distance. So you can see like some of these villages, well, it's going to be a lot more evident now because the first berry bush has already been taken. But look at the walking distance that exists here. So if you count that out, you're probably talking about a second at least. Whereas these guys on the sheep, they just literally stand up, turn around, hand it to the grinding gears of the mill, and then they're on their way back down.
But it's because like deer people, berry people also carry more. Like, who's your math guy? A Twitch chat?
No, he's a Discord mod. He's a crazy math guy. He like does all the theory crafting of everything, and he's like, okay, I've done the verification of this build order up until the 18th minute, and I can confirm that it's best to open with a scout. There you go. So it's Kanoki. I'm shouting out Kanoki. He actually runs a website called No Idle TC. But I'm not sure if he's still updating it. But essentially, just a whole bunch of build orders. He's great to have. He's great to have.
Okay. Obi-Wan Kenoki?
That is him, yes.
Okay.
Up towards the north, Marine Lord, no surprises. School of Cavalry coming out early. Also dropping down the mill on the berry bush. So we're probably going to be seeing that professional scouts that you did allude to.
Mm-hmm. Well, only 3 on gold right now. So typically you want to have 2 there. That maybe indicates wants to go high on that gold count. We'll need 192 mil, as you mentioned, so feels very easy. Also, only now scouts the barracks, so knows, okay, not a biggest threat coming from the opponent. And Marine Lord, he's just so comfortable with French.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what his reaction is going to be, whether he looks to get that archery range up immediately upon aging up. I suspect it's probably not going to be. He's not going to be that really focused on it. I'm sure he knows that these spears, they don't represent a threat at his base. This is primarily, I think, a threat at the sacred sites, but we can actually see where Wham is rallying his barracks, and he is indeed going towards that sacred site. So I mentioned a little bit earlier, Nilly, that we may potentially see the walling of the sacred sites. I think we've got it. What do you think?
Okay, well, we see it indeed, but also Marine Lord is sending a villager over, which is quite surprising to me. Goes over to the left-hand side, so wants to contest that as well. I'm really confused. Is he trying to wall in the whole sacred side at the left-hand side?
He's got to have to find it first. He still hasn't found it, and you got to be careful out in these lands. You know why, Nilly? Because there's wolves. There's wolves out here, and there's a lot of wolves on this map.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay, now the scouts being pushed away in the center. Professional scouts will finish in some seconds, and maybe it's just a sneaky villager. Tries to maybe get a tower up behind the wood line, pressure the stone from there. Yeah, looks more like she's on a mission. Now runs into the first wolf.
Oh, she's found the wolf. She's on attack move, so she's got her spear out. She is okay, doing 12 damage a spear as well. She's quite a feisty spear lady. But I think he's got to find that sacred site. There we go.
What's the plan now? A tower. Okay. But a tower alone won't do much, right? You need to go for arrow slits then as well. And do you really want to go onto stone? Would really surprise me. Or do you always want to have like scouts around in that case?
Yeah, it might be the case. He could alternatively just leave the villager down here. Maybe you just drop a lumber camp on these dead spruce trees and slowly but steadily work his way through the forest. That's always an option.
Okay. Well, it's always an option to send a knight through the center that will get pushed away by the spearman defense. So nice reaction there by Wham. Still archer range with the scholar. Barracks with the scholar as well. So pretty solid production. And both players close to 30 population. Professional scouts in and dropping in the food.
So Wham actually going for Sanctity. He's got about a minute left on that bad boy before it's finished. Now Wham has scouted out this sacred site out to the west of the map where the outpost currently exists, but over towards the east of the map. He doesn't know where that second, or rather that third sacred site is. But Marine Lord does indeed know where it is, so we may potentially see him look to outpost that one up. But very interesting that he's gone all the way over to the opposite side of the map and then look to secure up that position with the outpost. But have a look at this sneaky little villager. Marine Lord is on a mission at the moment. What is he doing with this villager?
I can't even find her anymore. Oh yeah, at the edge of the map. Holy moly. Certainly a flat earther there. Trying to find the edge. And now the sneaky tower next to the berries. And that's why I told you, go for the berries before the sheep, because the sheep could now be 8 under the town center. The berries can't.
10 idle villagers at the moment from Wham. He seems to have picked it up, so they were asleep for only a moment. But take a look at the middle of the map. What do we see, Nilly? We see walls, baby. Walls.
But no scholar in there yet, so needs to add a gate then as well. Won't mind that one too much. Right hand side, Marine Lord still expanding with his scouts. Still no real golden come, and Marine Lord now gets in there with his knights. Maybe tries to intercept the scholar. No, too many spearmen. Yeah,
but on the back line, the villager actually gets chased down. Unfortunately, she's going to get buried in the forest with her wolves. Or, I don't even know if she'll get buried. Maybe she'll just get eaten. I think that's probably what would happen. But that's a story for another day, isn't it?
She'll become one with the trees.
I'd like to think so as well. But, yeah, securing up that sacred site in the middle. He's got that fully walled in, fully locked and loaded. But, now out towards the west as well. Wham begins to head. Double spear is going to be heading out here. Does have that that arrow slits that you mentioned, and you can see he's starting to take damage out here over on the west side. So I would expect that we start to see the military forces begin to head out that way. But look at that. Did you spot that? The Royal Knights coming in and sneaking in and grabbing that scholar before he comes out too far.
Yeah, really nice pick up there for sure, and he still knows how the villagers are exposed on the berries. Now big walls by Wham, love that against the French mobility, and Wham, only one sacred site with 2 pretty much out of his reach, and far away from ever reaching Castle Age. 1 on gold right now, continues to go for more spearmen and archers.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense in his position to sort of play a little bit more in Age 2. I think as a Delhi player, it makes a lot of sense to commit heavy to Age 2 just because you can secure up these sacred sites. But obviously, there's a difficulty in doing that. If you do potentially limit your technology, then your opponent's obviously going to have a little bit of a race ahead of you. But now we see an outpost going to be going down in the middle here. So Marine Lord looking to secure up this position. Doesn't have a lot of siege here, but I expect that Wham's probably going to be moving in this direction very soon.
Let's see if he can contest that tower. Likely to go up before that. Knights doing reasonable damage against the palisade wall, but it feels like spearmen and archer numbers looking pretty hot. And feels like the tower, I predicted it to go up, but still under threat.
Yeah, and one of the great things that Marine Lord is doing right now, apart from attacking the archers with his knights and getting some great trades in, even though it was only for a few hits, he is distracting Wham. So Wham only has the one sacred site at the moment. It's secured, it's safe, but he should have all three. Ideally, that's where he wants to be, and he's not. The first one, it's locked down with an outpost. The second one, it's walled up, and he's absolutely fine with Wham having it. The third one, yet to even be found, discovered, sniffed, smelled by Wham. So, little bit of an oversight there from him.
Indeed, but he naturally should know where it is. Wham now retreating, and I'm a bit surprised how few scouts we see. From actually both players, right? Both players could have done more damage in that stealth forest. Didn't really know where to attack and didn't really know how much army was on the field from the opponent. Another sneaky knight tries to find something, but look at that. Textiles already in. Wham will survive with those villagers if it wasn't for the very weak one. Oh.
Yeah, that poor villager going down. And in addition to that villager going down, I'm not sure if you saw it, but there was a spearman and a knight that were fighting to the death, and they both died killing each other. And it was one of the most dramatic deaths I have ever seen. This spearman, its animation probably lasted close to 3 or 4 seconds. It fell down at like 4 different directions before it finally rolled over. The arm flailed out, and he just resigned.
Okay, maybe it was a European soccer spearman.
I think it may have been, yes.
Very dramatic.
Yes, very, very dramatic. But Wham still, yeah, I mean, you mentioned earlier, not a lot of scouting has gone on. I'm really not enjoying the way that Wham's playing at the moment. I think that he needs to get more on the sacred site front. He's just not doing enough because once he's able to do that, like, you could probably just, you know, peel off, say, 6 spears over here and then move them over towards this outpost, send out a scholar with it as well, and you're absolutely fine. So that's really what he should be thinking about. But unfortunately going to be keeping the majority of his mass together. And now beginning to push in on this outpost that already exists. He's managed to put in 5 of those archers. Going to swing the camera around and try and get a nice little view here as these spears continue to force back these Royal Knights. Royal Knights now bringing out their large jousts. It's like we're at a European jousting competition. I know that that's what you guys do over there, Nilly. I've seen the YouTube videos, but it looks like they've put them away for now.
Every Sunday before church.
Wait, you don't go to church? On Sundays?
Every Sunday.
But speaking of Sunday, Marine Lord thinking about aging up. Take a look at the resources he's got in his bank account at the moment. 15 villagers on gold. He's got 10 on food at the moment. He's finally going to be able to neutralize his sacred site. He has broken through. But behind this is my concern, is that there was a window for Wham to try and obtain these 3 sacred sites. And at the moment, he's just been fighting over this one. And really, that's an incredible win for Marine Lord. If he's able to get up to the 3rd age, he's going to be in a great position. Slowly but steadily neutralizing this sacred site. Archers v archers. That's exactly what Marine Lord wants, because the longer he fights over this site, the better it is for him. He continues trading out and having an absolutely great time. The archers on the back line just teeing off on those spears. And I think it looks like Wham's going to be able to hold here. But I feel like it's too little too late. How do you feel, Nilly?
So tough to see, like who had more archers? Feels like 13 archers against, what do we have on the other side? 19 archers now, more reinforcements, most of the spearmen going down. Also the outpost helping out quite a bit from distance. And Marine Lord, he can just go back and eventually heal up his Royal Knights. Really good fight for Marine Lord, I believe.
Yeah, he's had a great fight. Now actually able to push outside of the walls, looking to secure up that sacred site. It's only got about another 3 or 4 seconds on it before it's going to go. But Marine Lord actually stepping off the sacred site. Okay, he's brought one archer back, very fortunately. He's so close to falling off it, but neutralizes the sacred site. Marine Lord very happy with that pickup.
Now the archers should just retreat. There's nothing really to fight for you anymore. You don't have a scholar, so many archers around. Marine Lord with more knights around, and it just feels like so much dying here for Wham. Marine Lord in a solid position. 51 villagers against 44 French bonus for you.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. 45 versus the 51, so yeah, about a 6 villager advantage. Now, keep in mind, Wham is going to be able to go up to the 3rd age, going up with the House of Learning here. But I'm really starting to feel like he hasn't leveraged his civilization bonus enough at this point. So for Delhi to win, obviously they've got a whole bunch of bonuses that enable them to be stronger than other civilizations. And one of the big bonuses... Oh no, Nilly. It's happening again. Not again.
3 times in 4 games.
How does he... he can't keep getting away with it.
Is it maybe like it's still reappearing? I think he's underbuilding army before he goes to the next stage.
Yeah, I think that's exactly
Holy
what's
moly.
happening. He's finally learned his lesson. Now going to be constructing this landmark right next to his town center. Yeah, indeed, the House of Learning coming in at a great time. He said, hold on a minute. If I build this House of Learning right next to my town center, there's no way my enemy can deny it. And then he constructs it. So very, very well played there by Wham. But keep in mind behind this, I've got a feeling Marine Lord's going to be doing something similar. And indeed he is. Guildhall going up on his gold mine at the moment. 11 villagers on that. Castle Age reach for Wham. And I feel like at this point, the main issue that Wham's going to have is just a lack of gold income. So typically at this point, for the Delhi Sultanate, you'd probably want to be on close to about 1,000, 1,200 gold. And you're going to use that gold and buy a whole bunch of wood, which you're going to be making your siege workshops with and getting out your mangonels and moving into that man-at-arms spam. But at this point in time, he just doesn't have that gold income, unfortunately. It's a difficult position for him to be in.
Oh man, and Wham, he has one single stable, goes for knights there, no real other production, only now queues up something more. Delhi technically wants to go for all the upgrades now, but they're simply not flying in. Macro not on point there, still so much pressure, no sacred side control, and Marine Lord is falling back. I wouldn't be surprised if he just upgrades his units and then goes for another attack.
Yeah, he's looking incredibly good at the moment. And I think like, he's just 100% in the driver's seat. I don't think there's any way he can lose this unless he disconnects or his monitor stops working. He is really in the driver's seat at the moment. He's got the villager advantage. Wallalol going to be coming down towards the south as a relic does get picked up, but unfortunately that Royal Knight going to be running out a little bit too soon, and it looks like it does manage to escape off into the stealth forest.
Okay, relic still not really okay. Now the scholar on the way home. But that's a scary army of Marine Lords. Look at that. Now we have veteran Royal Knights. We have the upgrades as well for the ranged units flying in. Blacksmith already got the obviously +2 attack. We have 1 attack, 1 armor for archer units. Now the second armor there. Just such a big army for Marine Lord. And Wham, a dozen of archers.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. And now Marine Lord continuing to push towards the front of the base. Wham, you can see him retreating back. Still yet to grab those upgrades. It's going to take some time, another 3 minutes before the veteran archers come through. But, you know, in this position as Wham, I don't think there's too much that he can really do. He's going to try and have to hold on. He's at a villager deficit, a significant villager deficit, almost 20 villages nearly at this point. It is huge. And that's only going to continue to get bigger and bigger because keep in mind that French bonus does scale. So I think it's sitting at about a 20% reduction of time to build. Yeah, 16 seconds at the moment for a villager for the French to be built.
Oh, doesn't feel fair. Doesn't feel fair. And this army is just looking so strong. Knights are healing themselves now. And Wham's army, let's take a look. It's actually 28, including some scholars, so not too bad. But simply the pound for pound is not there. 6 lancers, 1 man-at-arms. That won't be enough against 14 Royal Knights.
It's a lot of Royal Knights, and these are French Royal Knights, so they got all the bells and whistles that the other civilizations don't have access to. They've got those cantled saddles, they've got the chivalry, and of course they've got those royal bloodlines that they get a little bit later on in the Imperial Age. So we'll have to wait, we'll have to see whether the game looks to go that long or whether Marine Lord is able to finish it in the Third Age, but he's now going to begin pushing in towards the wood line. A lot of archers here on the front line, and Wham trying his best to defend. We can see a couple relics being moved in with a few of the scholars. I don't know about you, Nearly. I'm looking forward to it. A little bit of a wallalol going down right now. Doesn't look like Marine Lord's going to fall for it, though, as he continues to head back outside the safety region of that one and continuing to tee off on these lancers on the front line, and it's not looking pretty for Wham at this point in time.
Not at all. All the lancers are dying. Some knights are still around. Even 7 knights, more spearmen are dying, and this will be the last charge here. Only feudal age archers, and it feels like Marine Lord will go with a perfect score of 12 wins, not a single map loss in this qualifier. Arguably the best player in the world, and we have witnessed again why he's considered exactly that.
Yeah, so incredibly consistent throughout these games. It's impressive to watch him. The way he just puts on an absolute clinic for us today. Good game, well played, Wham. unfortunately going to have to tap out here, and Marine Lord going to be saying, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It is 4-0 going over to Marine Lord. He's flying to Berlin, and we'll get to shake his hand, Nilly.
We're indeed going to shake his hand. We will look over his shoulder, see how he plays. We will see his pulse, his heart rate, his stress meter, his fingers, and see how he plays against the best of the world. We will see him play against the Muslim, against Viper, and against BC Cutie.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. For you guys watching this on YouTube, I hope you guys are looking forward to N4C, because I tell you what, I am as well. It's going to be throughout March. I'm going to keep you guys posted. Nilly, what an amazing set that was. I mean, Marine Lord put on an absolute clinic for us. It wasn't really that close. Wham sort of looked like he was a little bit out of the water today.
Yeah, or Marine Lord just so dominant, right? He actually said he doesn't lose a best of 7 against anyone in the world. He just feels like he's so incredibly good. He considers himself #1 in the world as well. He was only scared of the best of 3 rounds, and we have seen how deep he is in his map pool, how he knows his civilizations, and damn, I might consider him the top favorite to take the whole thing now.
Yeah, and look, I agree with that assessment completely. I don't think there's any way he can lose in a best of 7. There's just too many opportunities for him to win in a best of 7. It's just very, very difficult. So yeah, incredibly well played to Marine Lord today, and I'm looking forward to see what he's going to bring to Berlin, because it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be painful.
Well, you can ask him some questions if you are in the Discord channel. I think we can jump in there together.